Hi everybody, welcome to Shivers. For the entire month of October, we've spent every episode rating all of these Halloween-themed horror movies. So for our grand finale, it feels only right to rank horror movies instead of rate them. So here is the top 7 horror movies that take place on Halloween night. They are all actual scary movies, so these aren't necessarily for the faint of heart, but outside of my asterisk for the one in 7th place, these are all movies that I would actively recommend. So, in 7th, we'll go from the bottom up, is Terrifier. I have been very vocal and crucified for my dislike of Terrifier. I'm not a big fan of Art the Clown, the Terrifier series in general, franchise in general, but I will give it the appreciation that it deserves. It is something that is unique. I am a fan of gore, so I love the gory aspect of it. The only thing for me is that I'm always a stickler of lore of the story. I need to know where art came from, outside of just from the original movie of All Hallows Eve. I need to know more about art for me to be able to connect with the story. It's the same sort of feeling that I have for Weapons. Weapons could have been a really amazing movie if we got more background on Gladys. I don't know anything about her. I can't just take it all at face value that this is who this lady is and this is just her thing. I need to be sort of convinced. So for that reason, Terrifier is in 7th place. Art the Clown has his rightful place at Spirit Halloween, and Halloween TV's all over the place this time of year. This again just gets credit for being something that is unique, not necessarily good. I say it all the time, original doesn't mean good, but in 7th place nonetheless. In 6th, we have Halloween from 1978. This is a classic Halloween movie, of course, and really one of the first, if not the first, to take place on actual Halloween night. I did a review for Halloween last week, so if you want a deeper dive, just go check that out. But my reasoning for putting it pretty low on this list is just because it's a little too simple. We have Michael Myers, we get to know who he is pretty quickly. We see everything happen in very linear fashion, which is a little bit refreshing, but it's also just a little bit boring. So again, absolutely give Michael Myers and Halloween, the entire Halloween franchise, the credit and respect that it deserves, but I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to watch this on an annual basis. In 5th place, we have House of a Thousand Corpses. This is by Rob Zombie. The reason why it is a little bit lower also is just because you gotta be in a certain type of mood for Rob Zombie. This is absolutely one of the most unique, if not the most unique one that's on this list, but it is a little over the top. I think it is also pretty cool that we have almost this punishment for adventurers. The entire premise is that these people are stopping at these absurd locations, and we find ourselves at this gas station with Captain Spaulding, who says, "Hey, Chris Hardwick, are you a fan of horror?" And he says, "Yes, indeed I am." So they take them to the actual family house, and that's when everything just absolutely flips the lid. So it's scary for the example of adventuring and finding yourself out there and in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it is also the idea of you've never have any idea what's going on in your neighbor's house, essentially. So there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of gore and just absurdity to this movie. That is something that I think is entertaining, but like I said, you do have to be in a certain type of mood for Rob Zombie at large. In 4th place, we have Late Night with the Devil. So this came out in 2023, I believe, and I think is just wonderful fresh blood to the Halloween night horror movie Stampede. It is very uniquely shot. We have the vintage angles, we have the film style that goes from black and white to newer style to older back in like that 80s. And not only do we have that paranormal aspect and the media and we want to capture something on TV, but we also have the conspiracy theorist angle, which is just so cool to kind of wrap them all up into this little package of Late Night with the Devil. I really, really, really enjoy this movie. I would like to get it on an annual cadence. I think that it's a really good one. So I would absolutely recommend Late Night with the Devil. In 3rd place, I'm going to change up a little bit of what I said. Third place, we have 31. So 31 is also a Rob Zombie movie, so there's no excuses this time as to why it's not a little bit lower, but 31 is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I love that dystopian horror. I talked all about The Long Walk for like an hour. I used to absolutely love Divergent and Hunger Games, and so to be able to see that gladiator style dystopian horror played out in any type of flavor, I'm going to be a fan. So for 31, we have all of these carnies that are just on this sort of road trip. And on Halloween night, they're in the wrong place, the wrong time, and get taken by all of these very Purge-like characters. They then say that all of them have to fight until morning, and whoever wins gets to essentially leave. So best wishes and good luck. So all of them spend the entire night fighting, and it's just brutal. It's bloody, but it's also very creative. It feels like levels of a video game, and we have that final girl moment as well. So it follows a lot of the classic tropes, but it's also something that, again, is just like super unique. So I love 31 any day of the year, but for it to take place on Halloween night, absolutely should make it onto your lists. In second place is the Houses October Built. The Houses October Built has also become one of my favorite movies at large. I think that I am a big fan of found footage, but I do think that The Houses October Built is a great way of bringing found footage movies to a Halloween crowd rather than a paranormal crowd. So The Houses October Built focuses on these people who are looking for the most extreme haunted house. The Blue Skeleton is what they find that it's called, and now they're on this hunt to find the Blue Skeleton. So this has all of the talks of the extreme horror and extreme haunted houses that have been popping up over the years that we have also spoken about many, many times before. And the idea of how far is too far and how far will you go? And when you get to that point of things really crossing your boundaries and your threshold, when will you know when to stop? So it pulls in just so many great storylines, and it feels authentic because it is a little bit lower budget. It is that found footage style, but we have really genuinely awesome characters, some that have just become very recognizable in their own right. So I absolutely love The Houses October Built, and I think you will too. In first, the deserved first place is for Trick or Treat. I don't think there will ever be a Halloween night movie that takes the place of Trick or Treat. I love Trick or Treat. It's one of my all-time favorites, let alone absolutely my all-time favorite for Halloween. I always tend to like to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, but that didn't add on to this list because it's not technically a horror movie. So I would tie that for first place for Halloween night movies, but Trick or Treat is just the best. If you want a good classic feeling Halloween movie, you will get it with Trick or Treat. It's a perfectly done anthology movie. We go in this time loop throughout the night. We see all of these different stories, all of these different perspectives, all with our moral compass rule follower of Sam, this little pumpkin boy who upholds the rules of Halloween. So all of these 7 movies, I hope you'll give them a watch for Halloween night. Again, I want to give credit where credit is due, that they are all horror movies that take place on Halloween night, which is just something special and something unique. So check out all of these movies. Let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite movies to watch on Halloween night, even if they're not horror. I always love talking about Halloween traditions. A big one of mine as well is always eat pizza on Halloween, and you will have good luck. So if you have pizza on Halloween as well, I hope you enjoy. I hope you have an absolutely amazing, happy Halloween. Thank you, as always, for watching, and keep this Halloween train rolling and follow us right into November. Thanks, as always, for your support and for watching, and we will see you next week.